Yeah, we good. We can roll. We can introduce it. I don't know who y'all. One of y'all can run it if y'all want to.
What do we call God's Investments?
The God's Invest.
Well, the show is called The Gods Invest, and our group is the Three Kings, 3K, KKK.
I can't remember that all. Maybe we'll switch off, but that's too much for me to try to remember right now.
Bring it in. You want me to bring it in?
Go ahead.
All right. Welcome to a different edition of the Gods Are Watching podcast. Think of it as a subsidiary, if you will. It's basically centered around our core group coming together to invest in the stock market. And as such, this will be known as the Gods Invest. So maybe you're an investor now. Maybe you are looking to be an investor. Maybe you have some small amount of interest. Maybe you don't. But
maybe just fuck with the guys that watch.
Maybe you just fuck with us. Maybe you want to gain some insight. Where I'm not want to come off as like this big guy who knows everything about investing. That's not what it's about.
Nope.
We're all amateurs at this shit. We're getting involved because we see that this is a window of opportunity for us to make money.
We need a mission statement or something. But I want to make this clear before we get started, is that we are just three regular people. We're not rich. We don't even have, what's the word? Like, income. What's the word?
Disposable income?
Yeah, like disposable income. Yep. We don't even have that. We're just sacrificing a few dollars. Maybe you can just explain our system for our sort of like pooling our money. How are we doing that?
Yeah, so we got what we did was we got together. We were like, hey, we all individually, we are investors.
Right.
So we were sitting around talking about it, and we were talking about investing, and then we just was like, hey, why not come together and pool our money to create a bigger funding source to invest? We all thought it was a fucking great idea, so we decided to come up with some figures a month that was doable for all of us. Depending on what we got, we all have families, we all have jobs, we all have different things going on, kids and shit like that.
Kids trying to just make a better way.
Yep. So that's
what this is really for.
That's what this is for. We're all setting this up for our futures. Like, we're setting this up so that our kids can have the shit that we didn't have. And we see this as a prime opportunity to do just that.
Right.
So what we did was we came together, we said, we decided amongst us how much we could put forth. That number will fluctuate. Every month it's going to be something that happens or something that arises. Maybe we have more money, maybe we have less money.
Hopefully it trends up.
Hopefully it trends up though. That's the goal.
That would be wonderful.
Right now. We're trying to trend up. We're trying to add more and more and more. So for our first investment, we all took $40. We pulled our $40 together. It's $120, and we said, hey, let's just kick it off. There's no way to do it. Just dive in and do it. So we did that. And then I think maybe 2 weeks after that or a couple weeks after that, we said, let's just throw in a couple more dollars for this month. So we all threw in.
Just to give us a little bit more seed money.
Yep. Just to give us a little bit more overhead. So we all threw in another $20, which, brought us to $180. So that's what we're starting off with. We're not starting off with tens of thousands of dollars or shit like that. Not 1,000. We'll get there. We will definitely get there.
Goddamn right.
But I guess I wanted this to be relatable because, if you have a group of friends who you trust, and that's the main thing. I trust these guys with my life. I trust these guys with my kids. I trust these guys. I've known them for years and years and years. These guys are my brothers. So if you have a collective of friends that you can do this with, by all means, I encourage you to do so.
Yes, do it.
Just do it.
You know what I think would be a good, for at least the starting episode. So let's just make it clear. We're recording this at the end of August, but we're going to make, just for time's sake, we're going to make our official starting, our investment starting time like the beginning of August.
Yep.
In July, in September, we'll be throwing in more money into the pot. So it's like dues every month.
Right.
I think a good thing to talk about, at least for this first episode, would be like how we started investing. And also, before we even get to that, I want to say, I don't want to make this super black power because this is about money. This is about finance. But I do want to say that I was inspired by a lot of leaders talking about black wealth being pulled together and using that as leverage and power to do what we need to do, right? So practice what we preach. We decided, since we all really fuck with each other, and we family at this point, right? We've been fucking with each other for better part of 2 decades, and we like shit, man. We always coming together for something.
Right.
Why not just throw a few extra dollars,
Hanging out,
and
trips.
just and try to grow our money instead of blowing money?
And we all wish we had this idea a lot sooner. Trust me.
And I feel like I'm kind of bitter that I didn't have somebody take me by the collar and sit me down and say, "Hey," because I remember being 20 years old and just not having any bills and no overhead and just
Tricking it.
blowing through thousands and thousands of dollars. Looking back now as a 30-year-old, like regretting that. So, like he said, for everybody who has a group of friends, whether it's 3, 2, whether it's 15 of y'all, sit down and have a conversation, man. And this is powerful.
Yes.
And you gonna
Low-key.
see. And you gonna see.
Even if you don't have friends, do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself.
Yep.
That too.
Because like I said, we all started off investing separately. Like we were already investors,
And
by
we still
ourselves.
are. And we still are.
And we still are. We're all still individual investors. But we just saw an opportunity to create something great together. So we took a leap and watched this shit grow.
Right. So how did y'all start investing? What was the first time you actually held some stock or had a 401k or something like that?
I'm late. I'm super late to the game. But I started investing. My first investment took place back in April of this year. And how I got involved was I was sitting and I was doing like I always do, going through YouTube channels, and I just got complacent. I got to a point where I was tired of not having anything set up for my future and for my kids' future.
It's a scary feeling.
It's a very, very real feeling. And it's scary as fuck. So I'm just like, man, what the fuck am I going to do? I know I had to do something. So I just started looking up shit. At first, it started off with me looking up side hustles and different ways to create money on the side or whatever. And that is what led me to videos about investing. And that's when I really kind of just delved. At first, I watched one, then I watched 2. And then my interest just kept building and building. It was like, wait a minute, this might be something here that I can actually do right now. I can start right now, today. And so I did. I opened up an account. I heard about Robinhood, which is a free app that anybody you can download. Your mama, your brother, your sister, anybody, as long as you have a bank account, you can open this shit up and get started for nothing. And that's what I did. That was the greatest thing about it. It was free.
There's many of those apps out. Robinhood is just not the only one.
Right.
What are they? Webull, M1.
Webull is another one. M1 is another one.
Robinhood. There is.
What's that one that talk about the change? Acorns.
Acorns is one.
You can invest change.
Stash.
Yep. Stash is another
too,
one.
right?
Yep.
I think Stash is the same concept, but it's not. I don't think it's. Like, Acorns is all just about the remainder of the dollar you spend.
Right. Stash.
Stash is like, you can do that.
Yeah,
but
you
Stash,
can.
You can also buy. It's like M1 too.
Yeah, Stash pulls money from your account randomly every day, and it will never pull more than what you have in your account. It usually only pulls a small amount. Loose change.
Lose the odd number, something like that.
I think I
remember
at the beginning of the day, it'll pull like 12 cents or 15 cents here, 10 cents here.
Which is dope.
You know, and it does that every day, and it does it passively, so you don't really know it's coming out of your account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I only use Stash for a hot second before I pull my money back out of it.
Yeah.
I like that concept.
I don't use it because to me, I know how to save money. But to me, Stash is great for people who are terrible at saving money.
Right.
But shit.
It's
so
great
is
for
Acorns.
that.
So is Acorns.
Yep, Acorns is too.
But the thing about Acorns is it does cost. It has
Stash costs too.
Oh, it does?
Yes,
I don't like
that's
that.
why I looked at it. Yep, that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't invest it because I was going to do it.
I understand it, but
I
I
understand it too. I understand it too, and I was like, man, this is fucking great.
If you have a bigger, account of money that you're starting out with, the little fee that they charge is not really significant.
Yeah,
but if you you think you're starting out with $50, which is enough,
right? Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you're getting charged $3-4 a month, I don't know what it is. But
yeah, my
that's
kind of
too much,
right? Yeah, my girl was the first one to tell me about it, and so I'm like, what? And so then that was what made me look into it. I'm like, well, what is it? What are they getting out of it? Because that's always my question: is
Right.
what are they? What are they getting? What are they benefiting from this? So I looked into it, and it's like a small monthly fee that you pay. I believe it's like $3 or $4, or maybe $5 a month, or something like that. But for people who have trouble saving money,
right, you taking change out, and then you
exactly.
Damn, you still taking $3-4.
Right,
That seems like quite a bit.
I don't know if y'all remember we talked about that too, but we was talking about saving change. I've been doing that ever since we had
I've been doing that for a long time.
My car.
I got a cup holder. As much as
my book bag. My book bag is full of change in my car. My cup holder.
I got juice bottles. I used to have the water cooler jug, that little 3-gallon boy.
Yep.
I used to have one of them full.
So you know what?
Maybe we need to do that soon.
I've been doing
We need
that.
to do that too. We need to pull our change together at some point. I say even just do it at the end of the year, every year, or maybe do it like quarterly or something.
Maybe we could do it quarterly.
But that could just be a little extra investment.
Add-on bonus.
That'll be our little tiny stocks that because I guarantee you I probably got $15 worth of change.
Oh yeah,
already.
At least me too. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 3 stocks of something.
Right.
Yep.
But anyway, how you get started with your investing?
Well, I don't want to give you the whole story, but I've always kind of wanted to invest. Back younger, I've always thought it was out of my reach. I never realized it was that easy.
Mm-hmm. And that's
then
a whole
again,
other
back in the day, it probably was.
is.
It probably was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? This was pre-app.
Had to
all
get
that stuff when
brokers
you
and-
needed a broker and stuff like that.
Right.
So it really wasn't until my first job that made that available to where I got into their 401k and low-key used to dibble-dabble with that and pulled out a pretty nice lump sum at the end of the day when I walked away from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And then after that happened, I kind of just walked away and never even tried again.
Right.
But I still had that knowledge. I don't know what just made me just say.
Because you probably associated it like most people just with your job. Like just
Right.
401k. And then you like, well,
I know I did.
privately,
Right.
I can't do this.
Exactly. Right.
But I don't,
Because that's how it
obviously
used
that's
to
not
be.
true.
You used to need a broker.
Yeah.
Right.
You did.
Or they even made it so where you can, I don't know if a lot of people know, but your bank can be a broker for you.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But it's not like everyday knowledge. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it's
Right.
still the whole sign up and all of that. I used to think it was unattainable. But then, like I said, once I pulled that nice little bread out and did that, I realized it was, but I just never got back into it. So that's probably been a good 6-7 years since. And now this is me getting back into it earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
My initial, like you said, like most black children, I grew up thinking this was some sort of unicorn. Like it was something that wasn't even possible for me to do. You only seen, like I watch Trading Places and you see them making all that money off the stock market. I have no idea how that works.
Right.
Even watching like Black Monday, no. Like I don't even understand how stocks worked in the 80s.
Right.
But now, everything is so palatable, everything's so simple, and everything got an app.
And plus,
Yep.
you got information at your
It's your
fingertips.
fingertips.
Yes.
So, but it was like, because I even watching like Black Monday, just watching how they trade, they might make a phone call. I'm assuming that's to the floor of the stock exchange, right? And your broker's doing this stuff on your behalf. And, I don't even understand that. I don't understand how the average person made an investment. Anyway, I get a job. I get my first real job where I have a 401k available to me, and I don't even do it. For like the first years at my job, I was like, why would I put any money into a 401k?
I was about to say that's the same. I didn't get into mine when I first started. It was a couple years after.
Because we sort of have, coming from where we come from, at least I can speak for myself and say, it's like this, what's the word, man? I'm sleepy today, but it's like you have this aversion to everything. Like I don't believe in that. It's like, why would I put money into a 401k when I could just take the money for myself? But it's because you're not really educated as to what a 401k is
what
for.
What it's for, what it can do for
right.
you.
These are tools that we're not even being told about.
Yep.
So I remember having a conversation with my mom. She was like, you shouldn't just invest something in your 401k. You know, that's supposed to secure you for your future.
Right.
And it literally sort of like shocked me, like, wait a second. Like, yeah, I didn't even think about that because at the time, I'm 24 and I'm like, I'll be straight. I could just work forever, but then you think about it like, nigga, no, you're not going to work forever. You're not going to want to.
Right.
So I just decided, I started putting like 5% of my check in my 401k, and my 401k turned from $0 to $12,000 in no time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And 401k, it wasn't like they could let me pick individual stocks, but I was investing in like funds.
You can
things
invest
like
in
that.
general shit,
And you could
like
choose
that.
how volatile you want it to be.
Right.
And I did that. I pulled that money out, and then I saw the power of it, just like you said. I sort of like saw my money build quick as hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So one day, just to wrap this up real quick, one day I think it was around the Bitcoin craze. And I'm like, what's it going on? What is everybody talking about? How do you even buy Bitcoin? And I started looking into that. And that eventually led me to Acorns. I started Acorns. I loved Acorns. But then Acorns was hurting me because if I spend 23 cents, it was pulling out another 67 cents. And I'm like, I'm getting broke really quick.
Right.
So for every dollar, it was basically
every dollar you break, they take the remainder of it. But I think you can go in the settings and change like the threshold of what they'll take.
Right.
But you know, eventually I left Acorns because it was kind of too much for me, and then I found out about Robinhood. Robinhood was more what I was looking for in the first place, but I didn't know about it at first. You can buy individual stocks. You can research everything. You can follow stocks.
I like Robinhood. It's very simple.
It's very simple, and it's very it's powerful too, though.
I also like Webull when I want to know more.
I still haven't even seen Webull. So what do you mean by that?
It just give you you know, stock market, it has the graph basically. So dog, you drive your finger over the graph, you can drag it back and it's telling you the averages and what it was on this particular day, all it just more detail
than
about
Robinhood is?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's highly detailed.
So I got to download Webull. I still haven't even seen it.
They deal with more markets. So
they do.
Right, because Robinhood, a lot of stocks are not even available.
Right. So Webull deals with a lot more. I think it's...
You know what? You know why I found that out? Because I tried to invest in Namco, and I also tried to invest in something else Japanese, but that stuff's not even available on Robinhood.
I did too. I tried to invest in something. I don't remember what it was I was trying to invest in, but I heard about it through watching financial videos and shit. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go invest in that. And I pulled up Robinhood and I typed it in. I was like, why the fuck is it coming up? And then that's when I found out, I kind of did some more research. That's when I found out that you can, and everything isn't available on Robinhood. And that's the same way with all the apps too. M1 has things that they don't. M1 basically deals with a lot of the major stuff. They have some of the smaller ones too. But a lot of them, you know, like I said, every app is different depending on which app you go with.
Right.
You know, so.
I mean, and then you still always have the option of actually going to like Yahoo Finances and stuff like that to invest money too.
Yep.
Which is, I think everything is available if you go to like those main traditional avenues, or even if you go to, what's the company? Is it H&R Block or somebody that could be a broker for you?
All of the H&R Block, Principal.
Right.
Because that's who I was
So you can go the
with.
traditional route and buy, you can buy bonds and all that stuff that way.
Yeah.
But so
Vanguard, a lot of people use Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like I said,
there's plenty of companies out there.
I ended up finding Robinhood, and it was like everything I needed. I could just make direct deposits instantly with my bank account.
Robinhood is really simple.
You could buy penny stocks, right? So it was like, and it also showed me, you know, I also want to shout out Dr. Boyce Watkins, which is a financier, and he has videos and classes and stuff that he offers.
I still haven't really checked him out yet.
He's a professor. You know, he's a polarizing guy, but his financial stuff is like, you know, it's golden. And he talks about it. He said, you know, the average person can do this. Right. And he sort of tore down that myth the mysticism about
It's
investing.
out of reach, and you got to come in with $10,000.
Right,
Yes.
or it's
You can do
useless
this with your change.
No,
And
because
that's what I always believed.
and he was basically just telling the average person, like, look, you can invest $5 a day.
Yes.
Every day, and you know what I'm saying, that's $35 a week. You know what I'm saying, that's nothing, and you could just invest that forever, and by the time you look up in 10 years, which is the long game you're supposed to be playing with investing anyway, you will look up in 10 years and you will have tens of thousands of dollars just sitting there growing and compounding over and over again.
That's just, you got to think, that's just a trip out to the movies with you and your girl and dinner.
Yeah.
One time.
No, that ain't even
Even
shit,
that.
The movies is $10 a piece.
Right.
So maybe that might be a meal for y'all. I don't know where y'all
Straight up.
eating it, but $35.
So you sacrifice going out one time,
just
and that's
one
your
time.
investment right there.
Right.
Yep.
So that's how easy it is. But it took somebody with some knowledge of how to teach to actually explain it to me and sort of tear down those facades and allow me to see it for what it is.
Make you know that it's attainable.
The poorest
for the
of people
Joe.
we all can invest, bro.
Everybody.
I'm investing. I'm actually brokering for somebody else right now. I'm not even investing anything other than this group. I'm not investing any personal money other than this. But the other investments that I have is I'm investing on behalf of someone else because I was good at it. When I was investing personally, when I had my 9 to 5, I didn't have a system, but every now and then when I have a little bit of money, I just throw $50, $100 into the stock market just because it felt better than to go in and wasting it on something stupid. It was fun. It's exhilarating.
And let me say this. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No problem.
you got to think, banks aren't paying interest anymore to hold your money.
Right.
Yes.
You can literally,
Which to me should be illegal.
It should be.
and plus,
It should be.
especially what they using your money for, because all they're doing is investing
Gambling
your money.
Yep.
Right. So if you just gonna have your money sitting somewhere, hell, sit it in Robinhood, sit it in Ford,
Set it in some
in
bonds,
GE,
set
sit
it
it
in
in some
some
bonds.
ETFs.
Right. And
Right.
that's what I did too. I was using these apps as savings accounts.
Right. Yep.
Because when I got my stash account, I was like, man, I got this $1,000 that I just don't want to touch.
Right.
Throwing all 1,000 of it into stash, just investing. I invested in Netflix. I invested in Disney. I invested in Nike. I invested in something or some sort of fund, and I just let it sit. And guess what? I turned
Cha-ching.
$1,000 into like $1,050. That's a hell of a savings account, and
Right.
it was
It is.
quick.
Yes,
Because
it
the
is.
bank, they paying out dividends once a year.
Listen, I bank
and
with-
you gotta have
$1 million,
$10,000.
right?
Yeah.
You gotta have
That's
about
right.
10,000 just to see $3.
That's
Right.
right. The bank I bank
It's
with,
like
the interest is they give you 0.01.
right. It's like thousandths of a percent.
Right.
Yeah. It's terrible. So what they're saying is absolutely right. You're not, if you think that, hey, you know, I'm just saving my money, I got my money saved, it's in my bank, and so why not put that money to better use and invest it in something? You don't listen, if you don't want to buy stocks, you don't have to buy stocks. You can invest your money into an account that will grow based off of it just sitting there because what you have it in is gaining interest. And there are brokerages out here, there are companies out here who will pay to, some of them I just looked up the other day, was like 2.27%.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right.
If your
That's-
money is
Because
just
the bank
sitting
ain't
there.
doing shit.
No,
The
Yes.
bank is not doing
the
nothing
bank
but
does
using
not do
your
anything
money.
for
Yep.
us.
And low key, even if you don't get into the stocks, bonds, all that, banks have Christmas funds. You can put your 1,000 in that Christmas fund and pull out probably 1,100, 1,200. You just can't touch it for 8-9 months.
Same with CDs and all of that.
yeah.
It's the same premise.
Right. So yeah, that's the whole thing. I started sort of just like looking at money as a tool, which is all it is.
Exactly.
And I started moving according to that. And you know, now there is a realistic possibility that your money could shrink too. But that's
Very
why
real.
you should go into investing with the ideology that you're in it for the long haul, because
Yes.
stock market is always going to be up and down as long as
Yes.
it exists, at least.
Yes.
And you know, at some point you're going. That's why you should throw it in there, and it shouldn't be the money that you need to survive. It should be sort of just pinch some money off the top. You know what I mean? Even if you are poor, because I am not rich, bruh.
None of us are.
But $40 just out of like a few $100s I might be holding at the time is nothing because, like you said, that ain't nothing but just a stupid decision going to KFC or something.
Yes. Think about how many times you throw away money on random shit anyway, especially for people that like to go to the casino. But people that like to play the lottery, I know I like to put in on the lottery, you know what I'm saying, every once in a while, thinking maybe I could hit it big.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that $10 that you just could have put every fucking, I don't care if it's every 2 weeks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something.
I used to stop every day almost when the Powerball and the Mega Millions got real high. I would stop every day spending $4 or $5, $6 on tickets every morning down there.
Open.
Yep.
And didn't win nothing. And I did that for months.
No return.
Right. So that's $80 I probably done threw in a hole. When I could have threw that into investment.
And I threw away more than that.
We coming up on 30 minutes. We can wrap this up by this was sort of like just an intro episode and talking about our strategy and our mission. Mm-hmm. We're gonna try, like you said, we done accumulated about $180 between us just on some frivolous pinching some money off the top stuff. And we're gonna try to grow this. So we're gonna keep y'all updated.
Yep.
We're gonna be
on this journey.
Full disclosure as much as comfortable.
Yes.
We can't tell y'all everything.
Right. Well, we plan to tell y'all the investments, things that we're investing in, things that we think are going to be great future investments. We're going to talk to y'all about our strategies, our plans moving forward, and what our overall mission statement is, which is to build dividends and to have our account compound and just grow and grow and grow. And hopefully we can bring some of y'all along and y'all can learn how to do it too if you don't know how already. Right,
and we even gonna disclose the stuff that we're looking at and plotting on to buy.
Yep,
just because even if y'all don't have a blueprint, you can follow us. We're not promising nothing, but
right.
So you want to like talk about kind of what we're debating about for our stocks, our cornerstones, real quick?
Yeah, we can talk. We can get into it real quick. So, every portfolio should have cornerstones.
Something safe that you know that's not necessarily going to fail.
Absolutely. And I like what you said before, recession proof, because that is a strong possibility right now with the economy and with everything that's been going on that we're heading into a recession. That's a great possibility. So what you want to do is invest in something and invest in stocks that you know for a fact that you are going to be around for a very, very, very long time to
Let's
come.
name off some examples since if people don't understand.
Right. So,
Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson.
They've been around for 100 years, 200 years.
Yep.
GE, General Electric, even though they're not doing very well right now.
Oh, yeah, they fucked up right now.
They've been around for 200 years.
Yep.
We talking about the beginning of America almost.
Mm-hmm. Ford been around
for 150 years.
Yep. You have staple
Nike,
brands.
the new blue chips.
Yes.
Amazon is not going anywhere. Y'all know that.
Amazon's not going anywhere. Yep.
Nike, and that's what I'm saying too. That's another powerful thing I want to make clear. Young people have a particular advantage in the stock market.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to newer companies and blue chips that are new.
Yes.
Because we are automatically pay attention. We know when the iPhone come out.
At the beginning of the trend.
You guys are paying attention to trends, yes.
Right. More so, young people are the trendsetter, don't even realize it.
Exactly.
How powerful that you're kind of driving the fucking stock market.
Right. Yep. Y'all know what's going on with Nike. Y'all know when Nike and Adidas is going to war and when the sales might be up or down just because y'all might be sneakerheads. Y'all know when the iPhone get announced. Y'all know if the iPhone is trash or not. Mm-hmm. So that all goes into what happens.
Or even when something new come out, like I remember when Puff was pushing Twitter real hard. He was on every talk show talking about he tweeting. Didn't nobody really know what was going on.
Right.
That's something that you can invest in and get to.
And this is stuff we automatically pay attention to just because we be on Facebook and Instagram all day. So look, when you see, say like Black Panther came out or Infinity War came out and it did super numbers, who you think is making that money?
Right.
Disney
who was behind it?
Yep. Disney is making that money. So what does that tell you? They stock is probably about to go up. That's like insider information.
They doing something right.
Yes.
So we kind of have an advantage where older people and even the people of older times sort of suffer because information wasn't so freely flowing.
Exactly.
There was no internet. There was no cell phones. It was just the news and newspapers.
Right.
And now we got you can instantly see what a company is doing.
Right. You can see what's doing across the world just
Literally
by swiping on your phone.
fingertips, like you just said. Yep.
Just for an example, I remember when Tiffany Haddish and Groupon partnered up for their little commercial run, their promo thing. I was like, Groupon might do a little spike right now just because Tiffany Haddish is so hot. Simple as that. I don't remember if it did or not, but it's just something I was paying attention to.
Same thing y'all was saying about Drake
and
doing something with
Sirius
Siri,
Radio,
right?
Easy. It's easy as hell. It's just like common sense. So right now we're looking at what?
We're looking at Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Ticker symbol KO. We're looking at them as one of our cornerstones, as being one of our cornerstones.
I'm tripping. I can't even remember the other.
Definitely
Disney.
Disney, definitely. Another cornerstone. They're going to be around for years and years and years to come.
Shit. We considering Ford.
Ford, I'm telling you, Ford, they paid a nice little dividend. You guys are Ford paid a nice little didividend.
Ford has
and
almost
they're cheap.
It's an 8%. It's like an 8-point-something% dividend yield, which means for the layman, it's just like for the how many ever stocks you hold, it gives a percent of that stock
just for holding it.
It's just an interest rate.
Yep.
Right. So that's the money you're gonna see.
You're getting
immediately
money just for holding
when
on
they
to a
release
stock.
their
What they
dividends.
pay quarterly?
They pay quarterly.
So every 3 months you're gonna see something in return just for having Ford stock. Ford stock is not the most expensive. Ford stock right now is like $8 and some change.
Yep. Because they're down. So
at some point
now
it was
a great time to buy in.
At some point it was like $11, $12.
Yep.
$10 and $10.50 at some point. It's kind of down right now, which everything is because like we're facing a recession, so everything is kind of on the down. But to me, that means everything is on sale.
Yep. That's all that means.
It's gonna come back one way or another. I theorize. So we're looking at that. We're looking at.
We just talked about investing in things that will be affected, could possibly be positively affected by the downward trend of the market. So we're talking about silver. We're talking about gold. We're talking about the investment in minerals.
Hey, can you invest in diamonds?
Invest all of that. If it's tradable, I believe you can.
Right.
Just to give an example, Ford, their dividend was, I'll be receiving $2.85, which is 15%, 15 cents per share from Ford for just letting my money basically sit in Ford's hands.
Which is a fancy savings account.
Right.
Yes, it is.
That's all it is.
Yep.
So
just to get an idea.
black people, listen, this is not just for black people, but I'm talking to y'all right now.
We need it.
We need to start leveraging our money instead of buying things. I don't want to criticize anybody's lifestyle or their interests.
That's definitely not what we're about.
Because even if you do buy chains and old schools and shoes, you know what I'm saying? Just take $15 every week.
Yep.
For your daughter's sake.
Yep.
Right.
Just throw it to the side, bro, and put it into M1 Finance, Robinhood, Stash, Acorns, whatever.
And trust me, years later, you will thank yourself.
You can even invest with Cash App. You can buy Bitcoin with Cash App.
Really?
Yeah. So everybody got a Cash App now.
There's Bitcoin stores starting to pop up.
Exactly.
Yes.
And machines in liquor stores and so yeah, if you got a Cash App, you can even buy some Bitcoin right now. And Bitcoin is at about 10,000. We've seen Bitcoin get all the way up to about 18,000, which is almost 200% increase.
Early this year, Bitcoin was at $3,000.
Now it's at 10.
Earlier this year?
Early this year.
Wow.
It was in January.
I didn't know
That shit was at $3,000, and that shit scraped $13,000 in May. Was it May or June? When we saw it. That was when we was like, nigga, we got to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it went. I think it might. Did it go higher? No, it went like upper 13.
13,000. That's 10,000 fucking dollars.
Yes.
Yep.
And so just
6 months.
And I'm not trying to be condescending or anything, but just to put that into realistic terms, say if you invested $100 in January into Bitcoin, the actual Bitcoin, because there's several different types of cryptocurrencies.
Right.
But Bitcoin is the main, the main one. So say if you invested $100 into Bitcoin in January of 2019, in June of 2019, just 6 months, that would have turned into $400 or something like that
Yeah.
for nothing.
Probably
though.
close to it, yeah.
Just for letting it sit there.
Just
Yep.
for letting it sit for 6 months, which
Yep.
isn't even long. Y'all know.
Which you could have pulled out and put your hands on a fig. Literally put your hands on that amount, maybe minus a little fee when you
a fee,
when
and
you
maybe,
pull it out.
maybe I don't even
Depending
know
on what your broker
what
got
your
set up.
brokerage is,
Yeah.
right? So that's just $100 that turned into almost $400. Imagine if y'all got $1,000, y'all
Ooh,
dope
my
boys,
God.
whatever.
Right.
You done turned $1,000 that you didn't even care about into $4,000. That's a car.
Yep.
Down payment on one.
Yep.
That's powerful, and that's what I'm saying. And especially, that's why I want to encourage the group thing, because it's easier to accumulate a bigger sum.
Right.
Yep.
Even though you will have to split it, still, the more money you have invested, the more
more money
leverage
you
you
stand
have.
to gain. Yep.
Exactly. Because compounded, what Einstein said that the two most powerful things in the universe is quantum physics and compounding interest. Because $1 can turn into $10, and then that $10 is going to turn to $100.
And so on and so forth.
That's the most powerful things in the world.
Yep.
I don't know if he really said it or not, but even if he didn't, still. So I don't got nothing else to say for this one episode.
And if you don't have a group of people, like I said, do it with yourself.
Yep.
If you married, if you trust, I don't know everybody's situation. If
Right,
you trust her,
right.
bring her in on it. Maybe
Yep.
she got some insider stuff she feel comfortable. But definitely, if you got kids and they're at the age where they can even understand it, bring them in on it. Maybe they want to put their allowance in on it and risk it. Hey,
Ooh,
that's dope. But at least, even if you got a kid that doesn't understand the whole concept,
Yep.
tell them this is what you've been doing. We investing for your future.
right.
You just keep telling it. Keep plugging that into
Right.
their mind. They'll be asking questions shortly. What's this investing thing? Tell them you buying Disney. Oh, we own Disney?
That's right.
Who kid ain't going to want to brag
Hey,
about
and-
owning Disney?
And we could talk more about the power struggle between the races and as it ties to finances in the next episode, maybe. But there's definitely a war going on out here, and we are not equipped for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's powerful stuff, man. Y'all like celebrating Christmas so much? Y'all can start investing now and get y'all extra
Right.
G out of this and get y'all some
Exactly.
Christmas gifts for Christmas. That's 4 months. That's a long time in the stock market.
Yep, y'all know y'all planning for Black Friday. Say, put a
There
little
you
bit of
go.
that Black Friday bed to the side.
There you go.
Invest something. Invest in yourself for a change.
There you go, boy. Got something else, D?
No. I think we pretty much said a mouthful for this first episode. I think next episode we can delve a little bit deeper, like you said, into kind of the financial part of it and kind of like the history and
With the people.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that would be a good topic. All right, we're going to keep these episodes short, digestible, in and out. So, great episode 1. See you later.